were sitting in a meeting the other day, discussing. On Tuesdays, we usually have a meeting where we discuss what we're going to do. And this kid sent us a book. He published his own book. Guys who publish their own books?
Yes.
So the guy said, would you guys have me on as a guest? And normally I don't have authors on, but this guy I have to have on. He wrote a self-published book called From a White to a Negro in 2010. So, the title immediately caught my interest. And I said to Gary, what's that about? He goes, I'm not sure. The guy claims he's not a racist. But the premise of the book is he wants to give his opinions and observations he's made of the Negro people of America and abroad. Hey, Chris, first of all, the word Negro implies that, most black people don't like to be called Negroes.
Right.
So just calling somebody a Negro probably
calls into question what your motives are.
Well, the reason why I use a Negro is, one, it gets your attention, right? But the black people use the word Negro to get for personal and financial gain, like the United Negro Athletic Club, United Negro College Fund, Universal Negro Improvement Association. They constantly use that.
Yeah, but I'm saying most people who are white will refer to black people as black people because that's what black people prefer.
And that's a word from another age when the social climate was different.
Yeah, when those organizations were formed.
Right, exactly. It's a historic term.
But, if I use black term, that'd be kind of boring, wouldn't it?
Yes, all right. So the back of the book, it says, it's an attempt to get the attention of the Negro people with the hope of changing the way they interact with the rest of the world and use the American system that was originally designed to help them get ahead, not behind. Those are the things that help to challenge. So the book has, each page has only, one sentence. It's pretty easy to read.
I was going to say, did you write big like that for a reason?
Yeah, I did. Well, it wasn't. The intention of the book was, okay.
Hey, what's with your phone, by the way?
Is it not good or what?
What are you, on a cell?
No, yeah, I'm on a cell phone.
Yeah.
We can hardly hear him.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad interview in the sense that...
All right, hold on one second.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
What did you just do?
All right, I just took
It's like sharp television now.
You just what?
It's like sharp television now.
No, sir, what did you say?
Oh, I just took off the stupid Bluetooth thing that I was using.
Oh, okay, that's that Bluetooth.
I got my computer in front of me.
All right, so how old a guy are you anyway?
I'm 30.
Okay.
And where did you observe all these black people?
Well, the city of Chicago, I spent a lot of time in the city of Chicago, and then if you watch the news and you do a lot of reading or research on the internet, things of that nature, which is where I come up with a lot of my statistics.
And so you were like watching the news and stuff and observing black people, and then you decided to write the book to try to help them, right?
Yeah, in a way. You put a spin on it to irritate people, so it gets people talking about some certain issues, and then...
So then he self-published this book, and then he sent it out to 60 media outlets, except we're the only ones that called him back.
Yeah, but, he says he...
Well, it's only been, a week and a half, so...
blacks in this country and around the world, but he was just in Chicago and watching television.
Yeah, that might just be the Chicago blacks. Hey, by the way, I guarantee you, Chris... that we'll be the only ones to call you back.
He still has high hopes.
Yeah.
Well, come on, you got to shoot high, right?
So, any page you open up to is an observation about black people.
Well, let me hear some of these observations.
Even a national disaster couldn't stop the Negroes from robbing, looting, and raping each other for less than 4 days in Haiti. See?
Oh, dear.
All right, let's see.
Well, that's true, though.
Well, a lot of things are true. I mean, there was... rioting and looting in, where was the last earthquake?
It was
Chile?
one in Italy where that happened.
All right, here's a good one. Why do Negroes always appear to be so sweaty? now, what does that mean?
Is Benji Negro?
Because Benji's the sweatiest.
Benji must be part black.
What is that all about?
Okay, I was watching the show Deal or No Deal. And there was this guy wiping his face. He had a pair of his own underwear in his pocket, and he was wiping his face off. Now, Howie Mandel was standing there, and he wasn't all sweaty, and this guy was all dripping with sweat, and he was using his underwear to wipe his face off. And I was like, why is that? I don't understand. And then you watch Black Hawk Down, A Time to Kill, Predator. All those movies, the black people are always just dripping with sweat. And it just,
No, like I know on the basketball court, you see a lot of sweaty black guys, but they're working
exerting
out.
themselves.
Right.
Well, they're running, but that's in, different settings.
So you saw a guy on Deal or No Deal sweating, and you're referring to Negroes as people who sweat a lot? All right.
You're not prone to generalizations, are you?
All right, here's another fact, according to the book. It's a fact of life. Some people work harder than others. Unfortunately, Negroes are not usually thought of as the hardest of workers. Now, what is that all about?
What is your point
On what is
there?
that based?
Well, like, I worked in a place when I was working at Trump Tower.
Right.
For 2 years. They, not to say that it was racist, but they would have they didn't.
Who is this?
They didn't talk very
Negroes.
highly of how the black people worked. Okay, for the most part. I mean, they're real big on hiring Mexican people to do all the hard labor and et cetera, et cetera. And then you had steps, but for the most part, you don't.
Oh, so that they were.
You don't hear people go, oh, look at all the black people work so hard. As a generality. Like. Is that not true?
So this is the bosses were saying they didn't like the blacks because they didn't work so hard.
Oh, you want me to read some more?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It's got to be exciting for you to hear your book being read on the radio.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
I think you could read the whole book. The way it's written.
Actually,
that was kind of the point. It was kind of the point. I mean, I tried to.
You made it easy.
I made it easy for the audience.
All right, here we go.
Supposed to be reading it.
Why don't Negroes take more birth control to help eliminate the cost burden of welfare on our states? That's just a rhetorical question. Only a Negro would put explosives in their underwear to try to blow up an airplane. What kind of book is this? This is the
The guy out of Detroit, right? He was trying to blow up Detroit.
All right. Why do Negroes complain about the police but call them for help so often? That's another observation in the book.
He's very observant.
Yeah. You know who started the saggy pants idea? It was bums without belts wearing pants that weren't theirs. And thanks to the Negroes, they follow those they will become someday.
What?
So how do you figure you're not a racist?
Well, I'm not a racist, but I know racist things, and then so I took those racist things that I know and I put it into a book to cause controversy, to see if I could get people's attention and sell a few books and see what happens.
Aren't you afraid that you could be perceived as a racist?
Well, that can happen. Sure.
Sure. All right. Well, okay.
And are you aware of the consequences of that?
If Quentin what's that?
Are you aware of, or have you thought of some of the blowback you can get from that?
There's going to be blowback. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to come to me here.
All right, here's another one. Why do Negroes have an obsession for the ugly, obese white girls? They would take an ugly, obese white girl over a skinny Negro girl any day. I always wonder how the Negro girl feels about that. Robin, how do you feel about that? What kind of, first of all, not every black guy would take a fat black woman over a skinny black woman.
No, these are his observations, Howard. He has studied this.
Oh, all right.
He has statistics to back up these claims.
All right, I bow to
And
the
he
expert.
makes these sweeping global statements.
I bow to the expert.
He loves them when you read them.
Hilarious.
All right, here we go. I have never been to a movie where the Negroes didn't ruin it. You let your kids run around and you talk like you're at a shouting convention. You're not at home. Have some respect for everyone else.